Well, good afternoon and welcome here to San Antonio, Texas, the Leslie Robinson Thanksgiving Classic on the campus of Trinity University. Josh Michigamba joined by Luke Terry, and we'll have the action here for you between the Carleton Knights and the Southwestern Pirates. And introductions for Carleton have already taken place, so it is Alex Batiste, a senior forward, along with Alex Gibbons, a sophomore guard, Beck Page, a junior guard, Jeremy Becker, a junior forward, and Luke Harris, a freshman guard for the Knights. And Southwestern being introduced as we speak. It's Josh Jones, a junior guard, a sophomore guard, Jacob Hester, Chris Smith, a senior guard, and Kyle Persky, senior guard as well, along with Brock Lechterfield, the freshman forward for the Pirates. Pirates coming in at 2-5 on the year. And for the Carleton Knights, back in action here in the 2021-2022 season. Did not play last year due to COVID. They are 1-1 on the season, coming off a win in their last outing. So early season action, and Carleton trying to get back on their feet after a year off. Southwestern 2-5, trying to shake off the rust as they basically have gone through the gauntlet of the American Southwest Conference, the other conference here in the state of Texas. Of course, Southwestern being a member of the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference along with Trinity, the host of this tournament. Luke, as we get ready to begin your first basketball game of the season, how are you feeling about hoops?
Good. Great. Honestly, it's been an exciting week. Thanksgiving, great time to watch college basketball. Some great matchups early in this week at the Division I level, and we should have some good action here today. As you mentioned, Carleton taking last season off, but a couple years ago they got a really great year from their now junior forward, Jeremy Beckler. He was named to the third team all-conference up in the MEAC as a freshman, so we'll see how he's grown over the past 2 years without playing basketball.
Yeah, the MEAC, a very tough conference for basketball. Last time the Knights played 2 years ago, they had to deal with St. Thomas. No longer, as that program has moved to Division I. But the MEAC still a very tough basketball conference. And 11-14 2 years ago for the Knights, and pretty respectable 8-12 in conference. They look to build on that as they go forward. A quick whistle here early on. The shot clock has reset to 30, so I think we're seeing if the shot clock was moving, and it was not. So down to 26 seconds, and we are back underway here for the Knights and the Pirates. The Knights in the blue, the Pirates in the white. They're trying to feed onto the interior. Nice little baseline pass. That's going to find its way over to Batiste, and Batiste is on the board first, and it's 2-0 for the Knights.
Yeah, the Knights got into their action there early on, found their big man in Beckler in the middle, and he made a good job to find the cutter underneath the basket for the first two of the game.
That was Chris Smith Jr. finding Lechterfield, who draws the foul, and Beckler with the foul. So the first foul of the game to the Knights, and Lechterfield to the line. The first one rolls in and out. And that'll cut the lead back down to half as second of the two are in, and it's 2-1.
Early on, Carleton making it known that they're going to move all of their offense through the guy that I mentioned earlier on, Jeremy Beckler. 2 possessions into the game, a couple of touches, and a couple of scores for the Knights are the result.
Now Smith drives baseline, looking for the shot. That one's going to be blocked, and that's going to be a jump ball situation. Getting in for the block, Batiste. So a basket and a block already for Batiste. And it'll be a possession arrow to the Pirates as they will take the ball out of bounds.
Harris will bring the ball back the other way for the Knights. Have it on the wing, down low into Beckler. He'll go back to work. Gets the defender off his feet with the pump fake. A nice shot there, but that one comes off. The Pirates coming the other way now. Attempted dribble handoff right there from Chris Smith Jr., but the defender got in his path, picked up the dribble a little bit early, and called for the travel. So the Knights come back the other way. Early on here for the Pirates, important to note that Kyle Persky, the senior guard, has yet to really get going in this one as the Pirates fall behind 7-1. Officials timeout there as the assistant came on to mop the court in the middle of the action before the play had cleared on this side of the court. Pirates will have it now down 7-1. Just over 2 minutes gone here in the first half. Persky, with his first real attempt of the game, gets all the way to the basket, finishes on that left side with the reverse. Now back the other way for the Knights. A lot of action up top, and Beckler still in the middle of it. So they find an open man on the right side. That's Beck Page, whose three is just a little bit short to start the game. Now 2 possessions in a row, Persky with attempts. That one coming off to number 3, Alex Batiste, who will finish the play right there and bring the Pirates within 2, down 7-5 now. Couple Pirates in there digging down to come away with the steal. They'll push out in transition. Persky will slow it down. They'll find number 10 on the right wing. That's Chris Smith Jr. That's like the field going to work down low, and that one will tie the game up. 7-7 here.
Like the field now with 3 points on the day. And the 3 on the other end for Gibbons rolls in and out.
It's a quick shot and in transition right there for Jacob Hester off the backboard, way off. And quickly in transition for the Knights. That's number 41 with the follow, Luke Harris.
Yeah, fantastic job by Harris to follow the play. Rewarded with the 2 points. His first of the afternoon, and the lead back to the Knights.
Yeah, and a great job early on from from Harris. The freshman's been touted with running the offense early on. He's been calm and collected in that position in the backcourt.
It was Hester and Lichtenfield getting in offensively for Southwestern. Lichtenfield with another basket. He's got 5, leads all scorers, and we're tied once again. Corner 3. And that one is drained by Page.
Yeah, that's the second attempt of the day. That one from the corner looking a lot more pure for Page. And after a little bit of a rocky start from the Pirates, both teams really clicking here. And the defensive intensity is certainly turned up.
Page steals that one away. It was good defense from his teammate that led to the easy steal. And then Batiste on the other side running the floor. Not only gets the basket, but a chance to extend the lead. It's already 5. He'll go to the line, try to push it to 6. When we come back, we're going to take our first media timeout. 15 minutes left here in the first half. The Carleton Knights, 14. Southwestern Pirates, 9. 14-9 here in the first half. Carleton will be going to the line to shoot one free throw. A couple of three-point play opportunities here on back-to-back possessions. It was Page knocking down the corner three just a moment ago, and that gives him 6 on 2 of 4 shooting, 2 of 3 from downtown, and he leads all scorers. But at the line, it's Batiste, who's 2 of 2 from the field, and now taking his first free throw, and that will be good for a three-point play. The last foul was by Jones of Southwestern. Trying to feed the low block, overthrowing the inlet feed down to down to Black. Jack Black has just checked in. And coming away with it will be Page. So 6 straight points for the Knights. Another offensive possession. So they work it around. Top of the key, it's Getz falling down the floor, gets back up, passes it around, trying to go cross court, and that rarely works. Taken away, and an easy transition basket here for the Pirates. Persky will finish the layup, and it'll give him 4 points. It was Hannah who took it away, cutting the lead back to 4. Banovitz in for the Knights, had it momentarily. Now Batiste going for the lane, and he's fouled underneath. And that will be on Hannah. So Hannah's first. And team foul number 2 for Southwestern. Carleton with only 1 so far. Inbound play. They're going to give it back to Harris. Now he's going to get called with a charge. And good defense down low for the Pirates.
Yeah, and right now it seems like both teams a little bit too persistent in trying to force their action for the Pirates last time down the floor. Had a man in the post, threw the pass, and the help defense came over even though they had been set up in that post up for quite a bit of time. The Knights down on the offensive end that last possession forced a couple of drives towards the basket and eventually got called for the charge there.
Harris bringing it up now for the Knights. It's Banovitz to Page. Got Batiste coming to set the pick. And they'll work it around through Page on the far side. Now Batiste open for the mid-range jumper, and he knocks it down. And Batiste 3 for 3 from the field. He's got 7. And that's a 6-point lead for the Knights.
And for the Knights that time down the court, just finding an open man. We're back into their action. As there, number 5 for the Pirates, that's Jacob Hester, who pivoted and dragged that pivot foot, will be called for the travel, and the Knights will get the ball back. But again, that last time down the court for the Knights, much better in running and initiating their action, getting the ball passed around the perimeter, and eventually finding the open man, knocking down the jump shot from the short corner.
Yeah, the ball movement pretty solid so far for the Knights early on. And again, opening up an open shooter, and that time it's another three-pointer, but this one for Banovitz, his first shot of the afternoon, and he drains the outside look. The lead is 9, the largest of the day so far for Carleton. And Southwestern turning it over on an in-feed pass into the lane. Now Harris, far kick. Banovitz will go down low. It's Batiste down low again, working on Black off the glass, and that's now 4 for 4 and 9 points. And Batiste leading all scorers with 9. And we're going to get a timeout before the 12-minute media. And this will turn into a full, and we'll take it with them. 22-11, Carleton on a run right now. That's a 7-0 over the last minute and 13-2 over the last 3. We'll be back here on the Tiger Network. Pirates find themselves down 11 here in the first half, and it's a 13-2 run in the last 3 minutes for the Knights. Southwestern needed to stop the bleeding. They come back with a good offensive possession, and that is Jack Black underneath, securing the layup. And for Black,
that one pulls the Pirates back within 9. But important to note that on the day, Southwestern already has notched 5 turnovers. The Knights of Carleton coming away with 11 points. So coming out of that timeout, that was what is accounting for the difference in this one to that point.
Yeah, exactly, because right now Southwestern, 5 of their last 7 from the field, but Carleton 6 of their last 6. Make it 7 of their last 7 as Gibbons knocks down the 3. He's now 1 for 2 from downtown and from the game. You see just another open look. The ball movement leading to another open look. And Carleton just really working it around, getting the open looks. And the block coming in from Beckler. And right now, Carleton in complete control of this game. And we've got a whistle. And they're allowing substitutions, but trying to see what the might have just been an inadvertent whistle, or maybe the subs are supposed to come in on the last dead ball there. But either way, another long look. This one off the mark for, I believe that was Beckler shooting the 3. From the top of the key, it was Beckler. Out of bounds off Southwestern. So now Beckler from a little bit closer in, still can't get the ball to fall. And it'll be a rebound for Southwestern.
Yeah, and Beckler slapping his wrist as he runs back down the court. Looks like he comes away with another block there. At the very least, disrupted that shot from Sam Lacey, the sophomore guard of Southwestern. That last time down the court, looked like, despite that nice spin move from Beckler, he put himself in a bad position, just a little too deep under the basket to be able to finish that play off.
And like the field with the travel for Southwestern, leading to possession now for the Knights. Already up 12, looking for their biggest lead of the game. Off the side iron, no good for Gibbons. Rebound again for Persky. He's now got 2 on the day. It's Jones, Smith, Hannah, Persky, and like the field for the Pirates. And that was Hannah off the back iron, no good. But like the field with a board, puts the shot up, can't get it to fall. There's Beckler there with some defensive frustration for Lichterfield. And the Knights come away with a defensive rebound. They've got Lee, Gibbons, Frisch, Beckler, and Getz on the floor. They're going to work it around Gibbons. Went inside, now he's inside the paint, kicks it out. Beckler, mid-range jumper, and the Knights are knocking down the mid-range Jays. 27-13 here. They have now doubled up the Pirates.
Yeah, and Beckler's looked really good from really all over the court. Saw that move a couple of possessions ago where he put himself underneath the basket and wasn't able to finish. But even then has looked really well, very mobile at 6'8", and has been able to really get whatever he wants.
And Persky with the board, puts it back up, draws the contact. He'll go to the line to complete a 3-point play. Rebound off the front iron. And Persky just in the right place at the right time. Like the field came up with it, had it bounce off the front of the rim, and soft rebound for Persky, who's able to put it back up and in. And he'll go to the line for the first time today. Already 3 of 5 on the day. And can't complete the 3-point play, so he's stuck at 6. And it's Lee to bring it across now for the Knights. Looking to feed it into Beckler on the inside. And that's going to be an offensive charge against Lee, and selling it very well as Hannah did the exact thing you need him to do on the zone coverage. Step inside and take any type of contact that Lee may give.
Yeah, an interesting move there by this Southwestern team, opting to go with a little bit of zone coverage, as you mentioned, against a team that's already really hot shooting the ball from the outside and the mid-range. But it worked on that possession as they came away. Coming back down to this end, Josh Jones hitting a three to bring the Pirates back within single digits, down 9 here, 27-18, under 9 minutes to play here in the first half.
Now Carleton keeps looking to push that lead even further into double digits, but Southwestern hanging around, and it's Persky tucking it and hitting to the lane. He's now got 8, and he's been a huge impact here for the Pirates off the bench.
Yeah, and Persky really seems to be the biggest bright spot in the first half for this Pirates team, as the Knights find another open shooter in the corner. That time it's Miles Frisch, the sophomore, hits the three to extend this lead back to double digits.
Yeah, 5 of 10 as a team, and really it's a variety of people knocking down threes. Gibbons has one. Frisch just hit there. Page 2 of 3 from downtown. They're getting it from different shooters. It's not just one guy really being the pain in the side here for the Pirates. And, that ball movement opening up those different shooters. As you can see, the shooting percentage for both teams, Southwestern is still shooting 50%. If you were to go to Coach Kuykendall and say, hey, you're shooting 50%, 12 minutes into the game, how do you feel about it? You got to feel pretty good, but giving up 60%, the defense has got to come up stronger, especially getting to the outside where, as I said, 5 of 10 from downtown now for the Knights, and they haven't missed from the foul line. Just one opportunity, they knocked it down on the other end. 1 for 3 for the Pirates. And you can see the rest of the stats there. I think the assists kind of tell you the story. 9 assists for Carleton on 12 made buckets. 75% of your made buckets are assisted. It's just that ball movement, just constantly going back and forth. So 10-point lead here for the Knights.
And for Southwestern, less than half the number of attempts that this Carleton team has. As you mentioned, Carleton sitting at 5 for 10 from deep. Southwestern only at 1 of 4. Those 4 attempts, again, less than half the number that the Knights have. But an important thing to keep track of as this one continues on, as Southwestern comes into the game today having shot over 36% from 3, a really good mark for this level of competition. It's going to be interesting to see how they continue to shoot the ball from the outside as this one moves forward and they look to get back into it.
And it's Jones coming in. He knocks down the jumper. That gives him 7 on the day. And it was Jones who just knocked down a 3-point jumper just a few minutes ago for the Pirates. That was their first made 3 of the game. As you mentioned, they're really not necessarily a 3-point shooting team, but even when you're not a 3-point shooting team, you can't be giving up that. And now Batiste has gotten into the 3-point action. 5 of 5 from the field, including that 3, and he's got 12.
And for the Pirates, it hasn't been a lack of good defense. They've forced this Carleton team to move the ball on the perimeter, but at this point they're going to need to start running shooters off the line and forcing them to take tough 2s rather than contested 3s.
Like the field with that one. He's 3 of 4, 7 points. Southwestern able to get into the paint, do what they want to do offensively, but like you said, if they can't disrupt those shooters for 3, it's going to be a long day of playing catch-up. That one is Batiste. He misses off the mark. That's his first miss of the day. And this will be maybe a tie-up situation. I'm going to call a foul on Southwestern. It's going to go against Lichtenfeld. And Lichtenfeld with his first foul of the day and just the 3rd for Southwestern. Carleton sitting on 4, so it's been a relatively clean game so far. That one goes to Beckler. He can't get to it in time, so he's going to let it cross half court before he picks it up. And that's going to be a travel. Largest lead was 14. Came at 27-13. And Southwestern cutting back into that a little bit here. Sits at 9, and opportunity to maybe draw this one competitive once again with a shot.
And a couple of times here early on, this Knights defense has done a really good job of undercutting these dribble handoffs that the Pirates are trying to initiate. It's really disrupted the offense to this point. Earlier on in the game, we saw it cause a travel, a direct turnover, and there had to go away from the dribble handoff and entirely change the set for this Pirates team.
It was Hannah from beyond the NBA line. And hit off the back rim, no good. Far corner, Batista, nobody covering, back underneath. Gibbons left wide open on the baseline. And Batista finds him. Now Gibbons with 5 as the lead pushed to 11.
Another important stat to keep eyes on so far on the day as Persky drills that 3 up over the top of the defender. Good contest from the Knights right there, but just a better shot, pure stroke to pull Southwestern back into single-digit territory. Now down 35-27.
Yeah, Persky's got 11. He leads Southwestern. It's Batiste with 12, leading all scorers. And an offensive foul called on Harris. His second foul, 5th against Carleton. As we are under 6 minutes now here in the first half. So still not quite to the bonus yet. But getting closer. Southwestern just 1 of 3 from the foul line so far. Carleton 1 of 1.
But one stat comparison to keep an eye on for the rest of this game is the fact that Carleton College already with 10 assists on the day due to that great ball movement that we've seen. The cutters have been really good for this offense to this point. But on the other side, Southwestern has only managed 2 assists. Again, the Knights have done a great job to disrupt their offensive sets, but we've seen Southwestern find some success, a lot of it coming through Persky in some individual slashes to the basket.
Now Persky will find Hannah, and Hannah with a great cut to the basket, and he's on the board for the first time today, 1 for 3.
Yeah, and these bigs from Carleton College have done a really great job disrupting shots on the inside. But for Hannah right there, just better touch, gets that one off the glass with just enough finesse to get it into the basket.
And sometimes things are just going your way. Page has that one slip out of his hands, goes up off the glass, and it was put back in. And Batiste now with 14. Trying to find Black onto the interior. Good defense coming over from Banovitz. Finally kick back out, far side, and that's going to be a knockdown by Lacey. And Sam Lacey with his first shot, he knocks it down. Excuse me, now 1 for 2 on the day, his first 3-pointer. And then it's Hannah coming back the other way, gets into the passing lane. And he's got an easy coast down. The lead is 3, Southwestern on a run. They've made 8 of their last 10.
Another great cut finds or leads to the open Alex Batiste underneath the basket. He'll be fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. I'm unable to finish that play right there. That one started by another great backdoor cut.
And Batiste continues the hot shooting. He's up to 15. He's the only one taking free throws, and he's knocked them both down for the Knights. That one's going to be off the mark. Sam Lacey pulls down the board. And the Pirates down 4. We talked about how the Knights really couldn't get that lead pushed beyond, they'd get to 9, make it 12. Couldn't really push it. They got it to 14 once. Couldn't get it any higher than that. Southwestern just sticking around. They go on a run of their own here, knocking down a bunch of their last shots. They're shooting 58%. Carleton 63%. Now Lacey into the paint, kicks it back around. Looking for Jones. He'll take it all the way to the rack, and he's got the layup from really outside a mid-range jumper spot. And that'll cut the lead to 2. And for Jones, he's got 9 on the day. And Southwestern doing good enough to stick around, and now they find themselves within a basket. But backside, other way, Page gets behind his defender knocks down the layup and gets the foul. He's got 8. He'll go to the line for the first time today. And Persky with his first foul. Under 4 now. 3:41 left to play. Carleton with a 4-point lead. They'll be at the line when we come back here from San Antonio. .341 here left in the first half, and it's going to be Page going to the line, looking to complete a 3-point play. Page on the day, 3 of 5, 2 of 3 from downtown, and making his first trip to the charity stripe. Knocks it down, the lead, 5 once again. So now Southwestern, that defense that they've got, they're letting maybe Carleton hang around in the lead a little bit too much. They need another run if they're going to try to completely erase that deficit from before. And Persky taking the shot and throwing it up, and Carleton not really liking the call as they thought Getz had played good defense. But he'll get charged with the foul, his first, and that's the 6th foul against the Knights. So the Pirates in the bonus the rest of the way. Persky on the day, 0 of 1 from the line. And knocks down that one. He's got 12.
But another big reason that the Pirates have drawn back within 4 now, Persky looking to make it 3 right here with his second free throw, is the fact that they've kept their turnover mark at 5 on the game. While the other side, this Knights team, their turnover mark has ballooned to 7.
A strong defense, and we saw it with Hannah getting into the passing lanes earlier. And it's going to be a hand check here against Jones. Was unsure. The official looked like he was about to call a charge, and then he kind of stopped midway to call the hand check.
Yeah, it looked like that call came in a little bit late. Batiste already had the ball and was making his move to go through the chest of Jones right there.
So it'll be lead inbound, up 3. We'll get it into Beckler. Now Lacey has Lee go by him, and coming over to help is going to be Black, and I think he's going to get charged with a foul, and didn't like it, so that'll be a shooting foul now for Lee. And well, now Southwestern with 17 fouls, so we'll be shooting the rest of the way on fouls. Here with 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Lee on the day hasn't taken a shot yet. And the first one from the line hits the back iron, no good. When we mentioned the records coming in, it was a small sample size, really from both teams, 2 and 5, 7 games in, you kind of feel like maybe you know who Southwestern is, but there's the second one off the front rim, no good, and that one rebounded by Toussaint. These two teams have played at a very high level. As Lacey's shot no good, but Persky picks up the loose ball and with a Jordan-like shot in the air. Persky unable to get it to fall. So 3-point lead still for the Knights as they push forward. But, if you just look at the records, I don't know if you would have expected a game not only to be this competitive, but also this good shooting-wise for both teams. The ball movement is there for both teams, good defense at times. And nice cut to the basket. Just can't get it to fall. That was Getz. Southwestern still an opportunity to tie with a three. Kick it to the top. Now over to Lacey on the near corner.
Yeah, and Southwestern much more patient in their sets in the back half of this first half. But important to note that they have been pushed further out. They're running their offense and initiating things from further beyond the three-point line than they were early on, forcing this Knights team to back off just a little bit to ensure that they don't open up the passing lanes on the inside. But that time didn't matter, and now the Pirates are within one.
Yeah, Leo Toussaint knocking down the J. And Page trying to connect with Beckler underneath. That one goes out of bounds. 1:37 left, and the Pirates haven't had the lead all game. They're within a bucket here of taking their first lead. They were tied 9-9. Since then, it's been pretty much all Knights. Persky, that one maybe kicked off his foot, but he remains in control. Shot clock down to under 15, and Toussaint 2 buckets in a row, and that gives the Pirates their first lead of the afternoon. We got about a minute left here in the half. Beckler kicks it around. Page left open for 3. Back iron, no good. Leichtefeld with the board. Now Southwestern with confidence. Persky with a lot of confidence shoots that one from about 4 feet beyond the NBA range 3. Leichtefeld can't get it underneath, too far under, try to put that one back up and in. Now Lee working on Lacey, gets in. Nice little dump off pass there, and he's going to find Batiste, who now has 17 here in the first half. And that will give the lead back to the Knights.
A lot of really great back and forth action. The pace picks up with either one of these teams looking to kind of grab hold of this game and carry some momentum into the second half. About a 10-second difference here between the shot clock and game clock.
And a turnover unforced by Persky, and that will give last shot to the Knights if they want it. They've already got the 1-point lead.
Yeah, and earlier on in this half, Persky looked to be very, very decisive, catching the ball and making his move to the basket or taking his shot from the outside. Last couple of possessions, a lot of dribbling without going anywhere on the court, really.
13-5 for his first half effort so far. And it's been a lot to keep Southwestern in this. And Beckler just finding his way into the middle, and then a very bad inbounds pass off of Persky. I think he was looking for Lacey to make a cut, and he just kind of threw that one right to Lee, who will take that one to the rim and get fouled. So he'll be back to the line where he's 0 for 2, but now with 1.6 left to play here in the first half, an opportunity to take what was a deficit and then expand this into a multiple possession lead here going into the break for the Knights. And Bradley knocks down the free throw, so 1 of 3 for Lee today, 4 of 7 now for the Knights. He'll be looking to put him over 50% here for the first half. Pirates 3 of 5 on the other end. And they should get one more inbound play. We'll see if they call timeout to advance. Looks like they're just going to take it and chunk. And Lacey's 3 at the buzzer. Front rim, no good. That would have counted. And on the other end, it's a 5-point lead for Carleton. That's about where we've been most of the game, somewhere in that range. And the Knights will take that lead to the locker room. But Southwestern did make a strong push there towards the end of the first half. They actually took the lead 42-41. And Carleton coming back pretty strong. 17 points for Batiste, 9 for Page. On the other side, 13 for Persky, 7 for Leichtefeld. And we'll be back 47-42. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the start of the second half. And welcome back here for the second half. Carleton with possession first, up by 5 after the break. And looking to get into it very quickly. Beckler with the 3 off the glass, no good. And Southwestern trying to cut into that 5-point lead, and it's Persky picking up with the early first half Persky that we saw. The last 2 minutes of the first half were probably 2 minutes he'd like to forget. And he comes up with the layup that will bring his team within 3. And on the other end, it's going to be Beckler once again finding a way to get inside. You know, he's only got 8 points to this point, 4 of 8 shooting, but it feels like he's been a huge presence there for the Knights.
Yeah, and I think it's because a lot of their offense, especially early on in that first half, was run through Beckler, but he's also a name that we mentioned a ton on the other side of the court. 6'8", standing in the paint. He's disrupted a number of shots, and he's a big reason that the Pirates struggled to get going early on in that first half.
And it's Batiste with 17 to lead all scorers, but Page and Beckler with 9 apiece there for the Carleton Knights. On the other end of it, Persky with 15 now. So that one's going to be tipped. No, not tipped, just pass errant back to the back court. And Hester will corral it, but that will lead to a turnover for the Jones has 9. Lichterfield has 7. And the Pirates needing a little bit more defense after having a lead right before the break. And there's some defense there. Persky will take it away. And the dunk at the other end. He's got 17. That ties Batiste for game high. We'll get a quick look at it again. He's on the other end. Gibbons feeding inside for Batiste. And that one deflected away by Jones. Persky once again almost looking to take over for Southwestern. Everything's going through Persky at the moment.
A couple of possessions in a row. Really great anticipation from these Pirate defenders. As Chris Smith Jr. gets all the way to the hole, that one drops after hanging on the rim for a second. They're back within 2. Great start to this second half. Great movement on this end of the court, playing with their hands up and a lot of energy after Persky came away with the dunk.
6 now for Smith Jr. And an opportunity to tie or take the lead for the Pirates. They're looking to take the lead. Smith off the rim, no good from downtown, and it's Beckler with the board. Gives up for Gibbons. He'll fire a 3, no good. Persky with the board. So we didn't see a whole lot of misses and not a lot of rebounding going on in the first half, but starting to see a little bit more missed shots here in the second. Both teams still, Carleton 59%, Southwestern 57% from the floor.
Yeah, but a couple possessions in a row that shots have come quickly for both sides. They were both missed, but there, after getting deep into the shot clock, Southwestern able to knock down a deep 3, Jacob Hester from the right wing to pull back ahead, matching Southwestern's 1-point lead that they were able to achieve late in the first half.
Well, much like Desant early on, his first bucket of the game gave the Pirates a lead. The first bucket of the game for Hester will give Southwestern a lead. And they'll go to their bench. It'll be Persky and Smith coming out. And it'll be Hannah and Lacey coming in. And a nice move by Harris to get to the basket, but unable to finish.
Yeah, it looked a little bit too wide open right there. As you mentioned, Persky came out of the game to start this second half just a moment ago. Already 21 minutes that he's logged here today. Does lead this Pirates team in minutes played on the year, but something that we'll need to keep a close eye on as this one comes down the stretch.
A clean block on the other end and a blocking foul against the Pirates down low, and that one's going to go against Hannah. And for Hannah, that'll be personal foul number 3. The second here of the first half, or excuse me, the second half. Pirates were down 5 at the break. First 3.5 minutes, they've taken a 1-point lead, and that one's going to be a foul against Lichterfield, and Lichterfeld with his seconds. Harris gets it in. Beckler. About the elbow, will put it up. Can't get it to fall, and then coming in will be Batiste, but he's going to get too much of Lacey's head, and that'll be a foul against Batiste. It'll be his first of the game.
Foul number 3, Alex Batiste. It's his first.
I think the officials just confirming that that was on Batiste, and he was the only one down there, so easy call to make. And Hannah picked up his dribble, now gets it out for Jones. Driving baseline, has the underneath, going up against Page, and he'll draw the foul.
And if there's one call that's come consistently to this point in the game, it's body contact on the shooter. Seen it called both ways, and see it again there as Beck had Hester pinned underneath the basket. Got him with the body, a little bit of a push on his way up.
Southwestern, no stranger to close games this year. They've won a game that was pretty close, 87-85 at McMurray earlier in November. And followed it up with a loss the following day to Hardin-Simmons, 88-85. And then just coming off their last game at home against Concordia, they dropped that one, 84-79. On the flip side of things, the Knights victorious in their last game, 96-57 over Concordia Moorhead. Find themselves trailing by 2. And that'll be Lacey. Pull it out. Jones blocked by Batiste, and then the pass couldn't reach Batiste. And it'll be Hannah to pick it up. So a new shot clock for the Pirates. They're not going to need much of it, as putting up the corner 3 is going to be Toussaint. Finding inside, Lichterfeld. He's got the easy bucket underneath, and it's a 4-point lead now for the Knights, who are up 4 for the first time. And
that was a long possession there on defense for the Knights. Southwestern able to come away with the offensive rebound, steal to keep the offensive possession there. The Knights scrambling were a little bit all over the court, disorganized. And Hannah made them pay with a nice dump off inside for the layup to pull ahead by 4 here.
Yeah, and apologies earlier. I think I said that Toussaint was the one that gave the lead for Southwestern early on. It was Chris Smith Jr. who had the back-to-back buckets early on, and I think looking at it, I just got the numbers mixed up on the stat sheet, and I think I might have looked over the stats. They might have given it to Toussaint early on, and I just got confused about that. So apologies for that. Chris Smith with 6 points, and he had 4 in the first half that gave the Pirates the lead. Toussaint coming in. He's got 2 boards now, and the field goal percentage is starting to fall down. Still over 50% here as we've reached 14:41 left here in the half. A 4-point lead for Southwestern. They've really come a long way, and a lot of that was Persky early on in the second half. And he kind of pulled everything together. He's got 17 points, which is now tied with Batiste for the game high. It's a 10-0 run for the Pirates here in the last 4 minutes. And they've held the Knights to 0 of their last 4 from the field, and they've also had 4 turnovers in the last 4.5 minutes. So really, when Carleton, we haven't seen a lot of the ball movement as we did in the first half. They've gotten good looks, but maybe been a little quick for the trigger, and there's another quick jumper. That one, Beckler, in and out for three. Got a good look at it, though.
Yeah, the second really good look from the top of the key in this half. Both of them rattling around the rim and out. But obviously, as we've seen to this point in the game, Beckler, a huge part of this Carleton offense, so important for him to stay aggressive even if he's not seeing his shots fall through the basket.
So stepping out of bounds on the pass from Jack Black. And we're going to have another timeout on the floor. 14-11, 54-50. Pirates in the lead. We'll be back here in just a bit. Both teams still shooting over 50%, but see the turnover margin not really growing. It was pretty high early on, midway through the first half, and we haven't really seen a ton of turnover since. 12-9, the advantage. Carleton committing 12, Southwestern 9. And then rebounding-wise, Southwestern 24-17 with the edge. And the Knights down 4. With possession under 14 minutes to play here in the second half.
Again, it seems that at this point in the game, both teams' of offensive sets have been pushed a little bit further outside of the three-point line, perhaps factoring into the lack of turnovers that we've seen. We've also seen a lot of shots earlier on in the shot clock that haven't fallen. Both teams have done a really good job on the defensive boards, limiting second chance opportunities for their opponent.
There'll be a foul down low on Toussaint. So inbound play from underneath now for the Knights. They haven't scored in 5 minutes. Gibbons, back iron, no good. Rebound for Jones as he pushes forward. Now over to Lacey. Has Black down on the low block. See if he looks inside now. Yes, he does. Black working. Goes down, loses control of the ball, and a great defensive jump there for Getz. Help side D, and Getz comes over, and as soon as the ball got put down low by Black, he was all over it. So possession will stay with the Pirates for the time being. Now it'll flip back over to Carleton. They'll get the next one. And it's a long two for Lacey, and I think just, you don't practice those shots where you're a foot inside the three-point line, and he was wide open enough. I think it surprised him, so he went ahead and took the shot, and I don't think he was actually prepared to take it. So
yeah, it looked like he had that left foot planted as his pivot foot was leaning forward, looking to make a pass, and stepped back into that one. Much more difficult than stepping into the jump shot as you typically do, and we saw the result there.
So possession back to the Knights. Still that 4-point lead here for the Pirates. Coincidentally, it's also the largest lead of the game. And that's going to be Harris with the three. He's 1 of 2 from downtown. Give him 5 points on the day, and he's cut the lead to 1. And that important because it ends a drought of 6 minutes, just about now for Carleton since their last made field goal, or their last points in total. Persky trying to get the shot up so he can go to the line to shoot 2. And the foul's going to be on Getz. And they're going to say active shooting for Persky as he'll go to the line. Well, he's 2 of 3 so far today.
Yeah, an interesting decision there from the referees to grant him the shooting status as he tossed that one up off the side of the backboard. But last time down the court for the Knights on offense, saw Harris hit that 3, a big shot, as you mentioned, in the scoring drought. But another point to mention for this Knights offense, Batiste, who sits as the team leader in scoring right now, has 17 on 7 of 9 shooting on the day, has been in a drought of his own. Has been a minute since we've seen him involved on the offensive side of the ball. A lot of really easy open looks that were granted to him because of cuts that were made, and really good ball movement in that first half. It's going to be interesting to see how they can continue to get him utilized here.
He has it top of the key, looks to drive, kicks out. Almost throws it away, but it's saved by Frisch. Working around Harris. Now down to Getz. Back to Harris. Shot clock at 6. Harris needs to do something. The team's chanting it out. Puts up the runner, no good. Rebound for Black. Southwestern will look to run the other way. Currently with Hester, and he'll give it up for Black, top of the key, over to Jones. Trying to step on Harris, but he's going to give it up to Persky, who feeds inside to Jack Black, whose shot is blocked, and it's Batiste once again. Now Batiste looking to maybe execute the pick and roll. Couldn't quite get the passing lane. They'll kick it around, work it around the outside rim. No good. Off the rim for Frisch. He knocked one down earlier.
Batiste really working hard to get the ball, get himself some touches on the inside. Knights did a poor job the last time down the court, failed to take advantage of a mismatch. He's been working really hard this second half against Zach Black of the Pirates, who stands in at 6'5" and has a weight advantage on him. That last time down, got the switch, had the smaller defender on him. Going to be something that they'll need to take advantage of. He trots back down the court, looking a little gassed at this point in the half.
Smith off the back iron, no good. So another chance here to either tie or take the lead for the Knights. They had the lead for about 17 minutes in the first half and also went to the break with a 5-point lead. And we're going to get a foul call on the baseline. And they're going to call that against Smith. So a 16 foul against the Pirates, and that'll take us under the 12-minute mark, 10:46, and that's the media timeout. We'll be right back. Carleton down 2 with the ball when we return. .46 left here, second half, and it is Carleton to inbound underneath their own basket. They get it inside for Getz. Flicks it over to Beckler, and Beckler's turnaround jumper good to tie it. 55 all here is 10.5 to play.
Beckler just coming into this one off the bench to replace Batiste, who get a rest. Mentioned before the break, looking a little gassed. He came down the court. Persky's 3 just off the mark. Lee with the rebound. He'll bring it back the other way for the Knights. But we talked about earlier in the game, these two teams and their records coming in, Southwestern at 2-5, this Carleton College team at 1-1. But the big difference for these two at this point in the year is the number of games played. And right now, Carleton College has a number of players with a lot of minutes already logged on the day. At this point, they already have 5 different players that have played 20-plus in this game. So it'll be interesting to see how they utilize their bench and manage minutes as we come down the stretch in what is currently a game tied 55-all.
Yeah, it's Lee, Fritsch, Page, Beckler, and Getz out there now for the Knights. Jones, Hester, Smith, Persky, and Leichtefeld for the Pirates, and it's Lee getting into the passing lane and taking that one away for the steal. Page for the 3. It's a little short, and maybe to that point that you were talking about, some guys already logging into the 20-minute mark. They've only played 30, and it looks like some of the shots are starting to come up just a little bit short, maybe not getting their legs underneath them. And it will be Carleton ball. And the shot clock will reset to 30. Southwestern 0 of their last 4, 1 of their last 9. Conversely, Carleton 2 for their last 11. Southwestern down to 49%. Beckler is going to improve the shooting percentage for Carleton as he puts that one in. It's a 2-point lead. He's got the team's last 4. Now Smith for the Pirates has the lane, and he'll go to the line after drawing the foul. Foul on Beckler. That'll be, I believe, his second. And so Smith to the line for the first time today. Can't connect. Now 5 of 10 as a team are the Pirates. Six of 11. Meanwhile, Carleton 6 of 9 from the free throw line. It's a 1-point game. Lee brings it across. There's Fritsch and Page out on his wings. Now he feeds it inside. Getz puts it on the floor and then has to pick up his dribble. And it'll be a travel as he came back around.
And that time for the Knights, pretty poor spacing as Getz caught the ball at the free throw line, but was joined there by Beckler, who's looking, as soon as he's gotten back onto the court, to get involved in the action. Persky gives that one up, and the Knights will slow it down in the open court. They'll actually pull up for 3 in transition, and for Miles Frisch, that is good. He drops that one to extend the lead to 4 right here for the Knights.
Yeah, feeling the shot from that angle. Not a bad opportunity either, as he knew he had numbers running for the rebound should he miss. Now Smith will draw another foul as he blows past Beckler and runs into Page, and it's going to be Page on the foul. So Page, second foul on him. 5 team fouls. And so Carleton with a 4-point lead. They're able to bring Batista and Harris back in. As Getz works on Leichtefeld. And that's going to be a foul on Getz.
Yeah, an interesting decision, bringing Batiste back into the game, bringing Beckler out. But they seem like 2 players, in my opinion, that could coexist really well on the floor together. Batiste has really gotten his because of cutting and ball movement off the ball, while Beckler, on the other hand, has been great with the ball in his hands, has moved really well in the paint, very, very nimble in there, and has been great finishing at the rim and shooting in the mid-range. So allowing those 2 to work at the high post and low post together, switching back and forth, seems like it would be fruitful for this Knights team, but that's not what they'll opt to do with a 4-point lead, just under 8 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, you look deeper into the stats, and you talked about the 5 guys now with 20 minutes. It's Batiste, Gibbons, Page, Beckler, and Harris, all with 20 minutes or more, and they range anywhere from 20 to 26 minutes, and we've played 32 so far. But the one thing that stands out, Getz, with only 16 minutes played, he hasn't scored yet. But while the rest of the team is sitting at either like a low plus-minus or in the negative plus-minus range, he is a plus 16 while he has been out there for the Knights. And so just, the matchups working out in the favor with Getz on the floor, and we've seen him put in some minutes here, some lately, but they're going to drop him as you see him enter your screen there and looking for that low block on defense. So it's been vital to what they've done with Getz down low, being the other big man down there. And on the other side of it for Southwestern, they don't really have anybody with a strong plus-minus, mostly because they were behind so much in the first half. And it was the same group of guys that led the comeback later on. That one turned over, stolen away by Harris. Now Harris with 16 on the clock, gives it up for Getz. He'll dribble in, but then he'll kick out. It's Frisch once again, but he can't knock it down. He's 2 of 4 from downtown, and we go the other way, and it's Hanna. Thought he might have had the shot, but he pulls back. Feeds inside. Persky losing control of it with Batiste, and we're going to get a foul or a jump ball? It's going to be a foul on Batiste. His second. He had team 6th. Team foul number 7 now. And we were in the the single bonus. So it'll be 1-1 here for Persky, and Persky 3 of 5 at the line. We get 4 of 6, he'll get another. Lacey, Jones, Hanna, Persky, and like the field now for the Pirates. Batiste, Fritsch, Page, Harris, and Getz. For the Knights, who lead by 3. Persky already cut into it, but can't cut into it any further at the line, and it'll stay a 3-point lead for Carleton as they push across.
For Carleton, the recent success has been fueled mostly by their success on the defensive end. Talked about the use of Getz on that side of the ball as Page went in for the layup, but was turned away by Persky, and the ball will be turned back over to the Pirates. This is a Knights team that is definitely at a disadvantage size-wise. They have Batiste playing down low, but certainly seems to be outweighed by his counterpart from Southwestern. But despite that, their movement and their help defense has been really great. They've come across to assist and double team and have come away with a couple of steals here in recent minutes.
Phenomenal effort offensively on the glass for Getz, but couldn't find a teammate. And defensively, it's going to be Frisch coming up with the loose ball. Top of the key, gives back to Frisch. Now Harris, shot clock under 15, and the stutter step's going to be a travel every single time here in Division III. And 6:08 left to play. It'll be Frisch sitting down and Gibbons coming back in. Southwestern trailing by 3. Their largest lead has been 4. Meanwhile, largest lead for the Knights has been 14. That was all the way back at 27-13. And it's been a pretty competitive game since that big lead was pushed out by Carleton. Two teams have been kind of within 5 or 6 points of each other the rest of the way. Batiste, and that one's blocked, but I'm going to say it's a foul on Jones. And for Jones, that'll be his 3rd. And Batiste will go to the line. Persky now with 19. He leads all scorers. 17 here for Batiste, as he has not scored in quite a long time. In fact, I don't believe he scored here at all in the second half.
Jeremy Beckler in for Carleton.
That drouht's going to continue here. That second free throw also no good, and the Pirates will come away with it. Hannah brings it into the front court.
Jones is going to pull for three, and that would have tied it, but it doesn't fall. Grabs his own rebound, and then throws it off of Batiste. So it'll stay Southwestern ball with 18 on the shot clock.
And Jones unhappy with referees there. No call as he was falling out of bounds, feeling as if he was being pushed out by Luke Harris.
Southwestern, one of their last 11. They haven't hit a field goal in 9.5 minutes. But count it there, and that'll be their first field goal. So it's basically the timeouts that we had for the first media in the second half. Get a look. Saying he was straight up. I think Beckler might have a case, but either way, it's a three-point play and a tie game now as Persky 22 points on 8 of 13 shooting. He's also 5 of 8 at the line. Beckler dishes off. Batiste can't get it to fall, and Hannah's going to wind up with the board. 5 minutes to play. Southwestern looking to take their first lead here in the last 10 minutes. Hannah, crossover step back, can't get it to fall, and then that one's going to be off of Weichtefeld.
And now we'll see a duo for the Knights right here in Beckler and Batiste playing on the court together. Saw the last time down the floor, Beckler dribbling it in the paint a little bit. Batiste cutting off of him. Got a shot opportunity at the rim. Wasn't able to fall, but still a better product than we had seen for them last couple times down the court. Beckler pulls from the right wing, a little bit offset from the top of the key. That one, another attempt from three for Beckler that rims out.
Hannah with his 6th board. That one put up by Black, sent back to Cinder by Beckler. The flow of the game feels like it might be a little lagging, but going to the line to break this tie is going to be Beckler. The first half we couldn't miss. The second half I feel like we can't find a shot. And we're going to take a timeout here as we hit the exact 4-minute mark for the media timeout. We'll be right back in just a bit. Watching Tiger Network, it's Carleton Southwestern at the Leslie Robinson Thanksgiving Classic here in San Antonio. So 4 minutes left here, 60-60. Carleton at the line. It's going to be Beckler, and he's shooting 2. Last foul on Jack Black. And Beckler now with 14 points. 6 of 13 from the field, but that includes 0 of 4 from downtown. And he's 2 of 2, make it 3 of 3 from the line. 2-point lead now for the Knights. As Jones will bring it across. It's Black, Lacey, Jones, Hanna, and Persky for the Pirates. Batiste, Gibbons, Page, Beckler, and Harris for the Knights. And Persky to the line now. He's got 22. He leads all scorers.
Foul number 9. It will be 2 shots for Kyle Persky.
And Batiste with the foul, his third. And once again, the free throws. They made their last few to make it 8 of 14 as a team. Now a miss here under 4 minutes to play, 8 of 15. And he misses them both, shooting 50% from the line in a 2-point game. Corner 3 for Page. Off the side of the iron, no good. Persky trying to do it all inside himself, and he'll travel. Pulled the pivot foot ever so slightly, and that will turn it over.
And similar to what we saw from Persky at the end of that first half, forcing the action just a little bit too much right there, perhaps because of a couple misses at the free throw line, but an important point in this game to stay collected. He's been good all day and their best option offensively, so they need to be able to go to him here, but gets beat defensively as Alex Gibbons goes up over the top. Spectacular defense there by Persky, right up in his face without fouling, but just better offense by Persky, able to kiss that one off the glass.
Gibbons with 7, and now a turnover for Persky, and I think you said it earlier. I think he's just trying to do too much here to close out. No time trying to hit the cross-court pass to Jones and sailing that one into the team bench.
He'll exit the game here in favor of Chris Smith Jr.
And Toussaint getting the turnover. They're going to say no call. And that one just off of Harris. So Toussaint's defense forcing the turnover. And Smith will inbound for Jones. So Jones, Smith, Hanna, Leichtfeld, Toussaint for Southwestern, and Batiste, Gibbons, Page, Beckler, and Harris still for the Knights. And this will be Jones for 3, back iron no good. And it's Page with the huge rebound for Carleton, holding on to a 2-possession lead.
I think a good decision from Page right there in the backcourt. Had a couple of people leaking out, decided to hold on to it. They run a set in the half court. Again, able to finish at the rim is Gibbons. Push this lead for the Knights all the way to 6 with just over 2 minutes left.
So still to a 2-possession game, but Southwestern is going to need to make some shots. And they've struggled as of late. It's a 6-0 run in the last 2 minutes for the Knights.
I think right there, the presence of Beckler really being felt down low, but it pays off in the end for the Pirates. That's Preston Hanna hitting the jumper from the right wing, cutting this lead 2-3 back into a 1-possession game for the Pirates.
Yeah, set up on that NBA line, and he knocks it down. His first 3 of the day. He's got 7. 3-point game for Southwestern. They've just, it's been Persky with the 22 points. And they don't have anybody else in double figures, but they've got Jones with 9, Smith with 7, Leichtfeld with 9, 7 for Hanna now. So they're getting production from quite a few other guys that are almost there into double figures. And then on the other side of it, Carleton, 17 from Batiste. That's basically what he had in the first half. And then Beckler coming up in the second half. He's up to 15, 9 points apiece for Gibbons and Page, 6 points for Fritsch, and 5 for Harris. So it's on Southwestern side, I think both teams have a dominant scorer. You can almost argue that for Carleton in the first half it was Batiste, and now it's Beckler kind of taking over in the second half. But a lot of role support players here and getting the job done. So down by 3, Southwestern with a bunch looking to get to double figures. And same for Carleton. They've got 2 players hoping to get there as well that are pretty close. And Beckler tries to get it inside for Batiste, and somehow Gibbons comes up with it, but now I think they're going to give an injury timeout to Southwestern. The player on the floor, I think they were just checking to make sure.
Sure, he'll be forced to come out because of that stoppage of play, and obviously not what the Pirates wanted right there. The Knights a little bit out of sync with only 5 seconds left on the shot clock, but Harris comes up with the board. The nice up and under for the reverse layup pushes this lead back out to 5. A minute left to play here.
And just a bad pass from Hannah off the feet of Toussaint. And we're under a minute, so you're going to expect a foul here. And just not called. Now they're finally going to call it on Lacey. And I think Hannah is looking around like, what, how hard do you want me to foul the guy? So Lacey with the foul, and that's going to come on the act of shooting. So instead of it being a 1-and-1, it's now a 2-shot foul. And then the next foul is going to put him in the double bonus. So working out here for Carleton, already up 5. They're going to get an extra free throw out of it should they miss the first.
On top of that, Southwestern sends the only shooter for the Knights that has been perfect at the free throw line today. Beckler extends that to now good 4 for 4, trying to make it 5 for 5 and push this lead to 7 points.
And you said he was perfect, so of course he's going to miss. Now Southwestern still with hope here, down 6. The shot blocked by Batiste. They'll go back to the line. Southwestern needing Gibbons to miss both. They'll be shooting 2 here in the double bonus. And Gibbons on the day, his first trip to the line. Team is 9 of 15. And he'll improve that as he's 1 for 1. Now 10 points for Gibbons, becomes the 3rd night into double figures. Knocks them both down, and that'll push the lead to 8. And unless Southwestern gets a 3 here on this possession, I think it might be a little too much to overcome. And there's a foul drawn, I think, by Lee. So 2 shots here now for Jones as he'll go to the line where he's first trip. He's sitting on 9 points overall. Basketball fans, if you're looking to see a team that you're going to play tomorrow, we've got that next for you. Carleton will be taking on Trinity. Southwestern will be taking on Birmingham Southern. That game starting at 2. The Carleton-Trinity game starting at 4 o'clock. And Trinity and Birmingham Southern playing next here. About 4 o'clock tip-off, probably about 4:10 after this one ends. 2 shots made and into double figures now for Jones. And a turnover for Carleton. So this plays well into the hands of the Pirates. 26.2 left to play, down 6. And we'll take a timeout by Southwestern. So those 2 games tomorrow here at the Leslie Robinson Thanksgiving Classic. Luke, you'll have the next game here with Brian Yanselson calling the game for Trinity against Birmingham Southern. Trinity off to a 5-0 start on the season. And receiving votes in the latest D3Hoops.com poll. Able to make it into the top 15 last year at the end of the season. And Carleton with a tough test tomorrow. Should they hold on to this one, they'll be looking to go 2-0 in the Leslie Robinson Classic. Looking to go 2-1 on the season. They're going to need to play some defense here. Southwestern looking for their third win of the year at 2-5. Already mentioned 1-2 in close games so far this year. Lacey finding Jones. Got a good look at it, but it's going to be too far off to the side. Now Batiste will be fouled. He'll go back to the line. And you get the feeling here if he can knock a free throw down, which he's struggled to do lately, just 2 of 5 from the foul line today. If he can knock one down here, makes it a 3-possession game. And with under 15 seconds left, that might do it. Smith called for the foul. Or excuse me, the foul.
The first one no good, and for the Pirates, they fouled exactly the man that you'd want to.
Yep. Yeah, those foul was on Toussaint as they changed that around. So he knocks down one. That makes it a 3-possession game. Southwestern needs shots in a hurry, and Lacey's just going to pull it around, and Toussaint's shot was off. That one off Southwestern. 4 seconds to play, and that will do it. Carleton's going to go to 2-1 on the season, and they have won their previous 2 matchups here as they dropped their first game to Bethany Lutheran for this complete domination against Concordia Moorhead. They'll have Trinity tomorrow. Tip-off around 4 o'clock for Southwestern. They fall to 2-6 on the year. It's 3 straight losses after losing both last week. They've got Birmingham Southern tomorrow. Tip-off at 2 o'clock. Persky with 22 on the day for Southwestern. He led all scorers, and it was Batiste with 18, 16 for Beckler, and 11 for Givens. Jones had 11 for Southwestern, and 72-65 our final. So we'll have Trinity and Birmingham Southern here in about 20 minutes. And we'll jump off the air for now, and thank you for joining us here on the Sager Network. We'll be back with you either 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock for your school here on Saturday. Have a good one.